Consume it all. Let it be released in your bloodstream. Let it fuel your energy. Let it fuel your passion. Let it rekindle and reignite the fire that you once had. No longer will you be able to hide in the valley. No longer will you be able to die in that. No longer will you be able to close the door and to turn away and ignore the very announcements that God has released over heaven. For he will not allow his word to return unto him void. He won't allow it to return unto him void. So be the very announcement that he has already made. Walk and live and be the very announcement that he has already proclaimed over your life. You are a son and you are a daughter. You are not a bastard. You are not an orphan. You are not it. You are a son and a daughter of the Most High God. Be the very thing that the Lord has announced over your life. We consume every promise, and we eat the manna. We eat the manna. We eat the manna. We don't know what it's made of, but we eat the manna. We consume the manna. And we won't complain about the manna. We won't complain about the manna. But it's necessary for our journey. It's necessary for our life. We are a living testimony testimony. We're walking it out. We're walking it out. We're walking it out. We'll walk it out. We're walking it out. With a living testimony of what heaven has announced. Living testimony of what heaven has announced. Walk it out, walk it out, walk it out. We'll live it out, live it out, live it out. We'll walk it out, walk it out, walk it out. We'll live it out, live it out, live it out. We are a living testimony of what heaven has announced. We are a living testimony of what heaven has announced. We will walk it out.